within the advisor space, there's a lot of different models. You can have an individual RIA that runs a model for their 100 clients. And what we see at Bitwise is a lot of those independent advisors already putting a 2.5% to 5% allocation to Bitcoin in their portfolio. I mention that because that's the leading indicator, I think, of where these large platforms are going to go. Individuals can make their decision faster, quicker, and based on their own analysis. The platforms have to take time and run it through due diligence processes. But anyone who thinks they won't fit into big model portfolios doesn't remember how much changes in Bitcoin. 6, 7 months ago, we didn't have Bitcoin ETFs. We didn't have the GOP presidential nominee speaking at a Bitcoin conference. If you fast forward another 6 months, another 12 months, could it be in model portfolios at Morgan, at Wells? Of course it could. You have to remember how fast this market changes. A lot can happen in a very limited amount of time.
There's probably some people in the audience here that are like, great, ETF, buy my bags, pump the coin. There are others that are like, this is against the ethos, not my keys, not my coins. ETFs are centralizing things. What is your response to that, Jan? How do you handle that when you're talking to people that are true hardcore cypherpunk Bitcoiners?
I think that's a legitimate concern. All you can control, though, because I think the barn doors are open here, right? So, and as I mentioned before, already assets Bitcoin ETFs has started to become a significant part of the ecosystem. So, listen, I think the fact is that in this world, index companies, the largest ones, control a lot of corporate America. That's a totally separate topic. But that's one our industry has been grappling with, especially with the ESG controversies of a couple of prior years. So I think it's going to unfortunately be part of the Bitcoin ecosystem, but you can always self-custody.
Yeah. Well, can I just address that? Because there's a difference between owning assets on behalf of clients and control, right? And so that's something that increasingly at Blackrock there's been an effort to maximize the amount of, in effect, delegated voting to the ultimate owners of assets that we manage, right? I think it's a similar construct here where, this isn't proof of stake. Ownership does not confer control over a blockchain. And I think that when you look at what the ETFs have done, they've just given another avenue for different types of investors to access this. There'll always be a lot of the market